Hi, friends. Welcome to Ruel's Wrap Up, the show where I talk about all the games I played in the previous month. Now, I've been having a couple of rough months lately, so I took a month off and I'm back. So I'm going to do October and November. It's very light 2 months of gaming for me, and just because life happens. But let's get to the list right now. Okay, and things get started off with a really fun game that I had never played before until Thanksgiving. It's number 13 on the list, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. These are our friends from Nerds of the West playing. Tom and his crew. It's such a silly game, but oh my gosh, couldn't get enough of it at Thanksgiving. Basically, you go around a circle, and each person in order says taco, cat, goat, cheese, or pizza. And each time you say something, you just randomly flip a card. If it matches the word that you said, so if I flip over a taco card and I say taco, y'all, it's a race to slap your hand on it, like sort of like slapjack. And the last person to put their hand out there gets all the cards that are in the middle, and you don't want those because you want to get rid of all your cards. And it's hilarious. Now we played my family. I had a special edition. It was the Women's World Cup edition. So they added a couple of like action cards, which was really fun. You did some silly things like high five, and there's something you'd make like a beak, like I don't know. It was something to do with the Women's World Cup mascot, and it was super silly, but we loved it. Really good time. It's a very light game and perfect for family gatherings, just like Thanksgiving, or we got the Christmas holiday and stuff coming up. So maybe that's the one if you celebrate. And if you even if you don't celebrate, you could play this anytime with anyone. I feel it's so much fun. All right. So that's number 13. Again, it was a very light 2 months for me. I played a bunch of stuff on Board Game Arena. Shout out to my Discord community for keeping me, in the games in gaming while I recovered from some health issues, and just personal issues took its toll too. So let's move on to our number 12 game that I played. I love this. This is an all-time favorite for me. This is Strike. It's a dice, I guess, sort of dexterity game because you're rolling dice in this arena. Here's me, Michelle, and Lauren playing it a couple of years ago, and we had our own little tournament where we had to play. I think it was like best of 5 or something like that. But anyways, you take dice, six-sided dice, roll them in the arena. If one of them matches, you're going to take those dice out back into your hand, and you want to be the last person standing with dice. So anytime you roll die, if it matches, you take them out. If they don't, now you can push your luck. Do you want to roll another one of your dice? Everyone starts with like 8 or 7 or whatever, depending on player count. Do you want to push your luck and try to, match some more dice, or you just want to pass? So you keep going, and then anytime there are no dice left, like in the arena there, the next player up, they have to roll all their dice. They're all in, and that's always a fun moment. So anything it matches, like if you have a couple of threes, a couple of fours, bring it in. You just take it back in your hand. This is always a hit, and this is another one we played at Thanksgiving. We played it at family parties before, but for Thanksgiving, my nephew loved it. I forgot he had played it before, but I think he just forgot because it had been a while. So he was like really little. He's literally not little anymore. He's taller than everyone in my family. So he was just enamored of this game. So we're gonna play some more during the next holiday coming up. That's number 12. That is Strike. Okay. Coming up number 11. I did not film this yet. I wanted to. I'll probably be doing a run through of my number 11 game, but I got to play it with my buddy Daryl offline. It is The Perfect Wave. This is our friend Jamie from Foster and Meeple. She's doing a how to play video here. This is a tableau builder. You are riding waves. It's got a really cool surf theme, and the waves they come in different numbers, and you're gonna place them along your the road there, your tableau. And depending on how far you go, you're gonna score points on what you've matched up. So if you have some, you could have a set like 6 or I mean a run like 6 5 4 3 2 1 or 1 2 3 4 5, or you can have a set of similar numbers like 7 7 7, and those will score different points depending on how far you venture out. Because as far as you paddle out, you're gonna have to take cards that allow you to go out there, but you're gonna have to come back in. And it's a really interesting way to you paddle out, and then you're gonna come back on the wave, and depending on how things lined up, you're gonna score different points. This is really cool. This is a game by the Op, and I really enjoy this because the Op folks, they're taking they're dipping their toes in more strategic games. You might know the Op for like really light party games, all the monopolies, very, gateway style games. I think this is a really cool thing to see. They're, along with the Perfect Wave, they've got the art project. They've got some stuff, folks, with some real meat on their bones, and I'm excited about that because they've got they already do quality games. And if you've seen, I mean, Perfect Wave, I think this is that nice next step. Or it's still a gateway style game where you can bring this and it's like, hey, check out these really cool components, a fun theme, and there is some complexity. Not too complex, but some complexity to this game. That's a little more than, say, like Blank Slate or Hues and Cues and stuff like that, which are terrific party games, but these are definitely not party games. So I'm excited to see the Op go in this direction, led by the Perfect Wave. Oh, excuse me as I drink my coffee. Let's move on to our number 10 game. Again, a very light month for me, and that's okay. I took some time off just to recover. And my number 10 game, another all-time favorite in my household, and a lot of you may enjoy this as well. This is Patchwork. Michelle and I played this because it says here, I was training for the World Series of Board Gaming. Now, I did do some training for a World Series of Board Game, but I also played this offline with Michelle, just because it's one of our all-time favorite two-player games. It's got the Uwe Rosenberg tile lane. You're sewing a quilt, and you're putting those polyominoes onto your quilt board, trying to fill up all the gaps, because any spaces, like in true Uwe fashion, any spaces left at the end of the game, negative points. And you don't want that, because you're going to see your negative score go up real quick in this. So as you go on the time track there, each piece is going to cost you time and buttons. The buttons are the currency. Any buttons you have on your board already will give you like income anytime you pass certain spots. So it's got this really cool combination of, hey, I want to build up my income while also building my quilt. But the more sometimes the pieces that get you the most income waste the most time, so you're getting ever close to the end. It's a really cool balancing act. Highly recommend this game. If you haven't played it already, give it a chance. Uwe's done a lot of different tile laying games. He had the series, with Cottage Garden, Indian Summer, and whatnot. Then also Feast of Odin, the big one. I love Patchwork. It's 2 players, 20-25 minutes tops. Fantastic game. It distills a lot of stuff that people like about Uwe games into this really accessible package. So that's the number 10 game that I played this month. Let's move on to number 9. This is a brand new game from our friends at they used to be called Board Game Tables. I believe they're called All for Play now. Is that correct? I always mess up this name. But they sent a copy of Chomp. I love the name. I was like, okay, Chomp. What is Chomp? I'm all about that name. And Chomp is a fun tile laying game. These are square cards, so they're not strictly tiles. They're cards. But it reminds me of Nemalia, which was one of my favorite games of recent times, where you're trying to match up the different terrains, but they also have animals on them. And you want, in this case, the dinosaurs. And who doesn't love a dinosaur theme, right, friends? You're trying to match up with dinosaurs based on 2 random scoring cards that you get. Now, I'm playing the solo version here in the video. You can check that out on my YouTube channel, the replay. It plays 1 to 4, but they have a solo version built in. And I like this. What I really like about is the tiles on one side have the animals and the terrain. And on the other side are different scoring conditions. So this is almost like a cross between Nemalia and Sprawlopolis, which I dig. And, you randomly choose those, and then you have a market that you can choose from every turn. Do you take in a new tile? As you can see there, I'm trying to line up the big dinosaurs because of my scoring condition. Or do you take one of those ones that are turned over that give you a scoring condition, right? So you go, and then you have like eggs that you can score. Again, all the different scoring conditions can trigger different ways to score. Very clever, very smart game. Again, another one that plays in about 15-20 minutes, I think. I don't think it's quite as good as Nemalia. I love Nemalia. There's something about this one that just didn't get there for me. It's still a terrific game, but something about Nemalia I really love. But hey, this is a good one. And It is from All Play Games. I want to thank my friend Magick Eric for pointing out. Folks, if you don't know, I record these live on on Twitch, and then I port them over to YouTube. And thankfully, I've got buddies in chat that remind me that the company is All Play. So this is Chomp. As you can see there, I am chomping around with the dinos. So check that one out. Let's move on to number 8. This is a fun push your luck game. Another one that's been a favorite. And I brought this over to PAX West. Played, I think, once or twice, but this is a game called Chicken. Michelle and I played this on the channel a couple of months ago, and Michelle came up with this thing where whenever we roll the dice, we roll them and said, all the chickens, because you're trying to get chickens on the dice. It is very similar to zombie dice, Martian dice, popcorn dice, those dice rolling push your luck games where you're trying to get chickens. You're going to score the chickens. But if you get 3 foxes at any time on your turn, you bust, your turn is over. What I like about this, you start with the standard white dice, and anytime you roll an egg, it's going to hatch, quote unquote hatch. And you have yellow and red dice on the playmat there. So if you hatch dice, you're going to bring those yellow and then red into your hand, and you're going to continue rolling. Again, if you ever roll 3 foxes, you busted, you return the yellow and red to the mat, then the next person gets the white dice. However, if you happen to score and you have those yellow and red dice in your hand, you're going to pass those over to the next player. So they have a decision. Do they take all the dice and go for it? Because yes, they have a better chance of getting chickens, but now they also have increased chances of getting foxes. I love that, and it's so fun. It's very quick, and I just love the touch that they have with this little score play mat. It was really simple. It comes in a tube, just like zombie dice and just like Martian dice and popcorn dice. Well, I think popcorn dice actually comes in a popcorn cup, but love this one. And for a filler, it's fantastic. Highly recommend from Keymaster Games. Chicken! All right, so that's number 8. Let's go on to number 7. Number 7 is a game, honestly, if it came out in this year, it'd be my game of the year. It's a simple game, simple card game that I can't get enough of. I played it tons of times this year. It's called Nana. Now, it has been picked up by an American company. It has now been rebranded as Trio. But the Nana, the Korean version, I prefer the art here. So brilliant for such a simple game. It's basically Go Fish meets Concentration or a memory game. You're trying to get sets of numbers. So every number, you're just trying to get 3 of a kind. 1s, 2s, 3s, all the way up to 12 in the, I think, 4 or 5 player game. You do one of 3 things. You either play the lowest or highest card in your hand. You ask an opponent to play the lowest or highest card in their hand. Or you go to that middle market or tableau there, or the yard, and draw or reveal a card. If they're all the same number, you collect them, you're 1 step closer to victory. If any of them at any time do not match, your turn is immediately over. You turn over the cards, or you give them back to your opponents or yourself, and your turn is over. The first one to get 3 pairs or 3 sets is the winner. But the really cool twist is, if you get a set or 2 sets that equal 7, you automatically win. So if I had gotten a set of 2s and a set of 9s, 9 minus 2 equals 7, I win. Or if you actually get this is the third way to win. If you actually get the set of 7s to go, you play the set of 7s, you automatically win. Now, remember what I said. You can only play the lowest or highest card in your hand. So it's really tough to get to those 7s. You got to drill down, right? Unless you, fortunately, didn't get that many high or low cards. So I have played this so many times this year, a couple of dozen times easy. I brought it to the World Series of Board Gaming. I just brought it to PAX Unplugged. I brought it to game nights. I've had it here at home. Anywhere I've introduced this game to, I literally had someone bought a copy. I brought it to World Series of Board Gaming. David Woybright from Man vs. Meeple went on eBay as we sat there talking, hanging out with Mick from Our Family Plays Games, and he bought his copy on eBay. I just saw Dwayne at PAX Unplugged. He couldn't find a copy, but he did find a copy of Trio, which is basically the same game with new art, and he bought it at the convention itself. So it's been a huge hit. I can't get enough of it. It's an evergreen now in my collection. That is Nana, also known as Trio now, folks. I think it's Underdog Games that publishes it. Yeah, so I'm just watching this video. I love this game so much. It came out, I think, in 2022. So it doesn't technically qualify for this year, but it's the game I've definitely had the most fun with this year. Okay, let me take a quick hydration break as we do this here. Gotta stay hydrated, folks. You know, even if you're watching this on YouTube, stay hydrated, folks. Will you please be safe and take care of yourself? And speaking of fun times, did I just say that? Pathfinder Revolution is our number 6 game. I had not played the original Pathfinder in a while. This is my buddy Daryl's favorite gateway game, or this is the game that got him into the hobby. So we did a sponsored playthrough with Steve Jackson Games for the Pathfinder Revolution version, and it was terrific. It was the same thing as the original game. I think, from what I understand, they incorporated some of the expansion rules in this. I'm not really sure, but anyways, regardless, it is still a really cool bidding game and area control game. So everyone's trying to bid on the different areas in the country here in the Pathfinder world. Obviously, it's been rethemed, but as you go along there, as you bid, you have 3 different currencies that you can use. Certain currencies are better than the others, and then whoever has the most, there's a bunch of different action spaces. You reveal at the simultaneous reveals, so you don't know what you're playing, and then you're gonna whoever has the most on each action spot takes that action. And some of them will give you more resources. Some of them will move cubes. Some of them will take cubes off. Oh, it's terrific. I forgot how much I like this game, and I'm glad that we were able to partner to do this, because it's one of those games where if you at a party with non-gamers, I think you can bust this out and say, hey, let's have some fun. Let's bid against each other in this game. There is some take that to it. But I find that in, a lot of times with new gamers, take that is okay. It's sort of fun. It's like, I don't know what it is. I think it goes well with people who are new to games. We just like doing take that. So Pathfinder Revolution, just like the original Revolution game, with a new coat of paint and terrific gameplay. Michelle, this was literally Michelle's first time playing it, and she really got into it. She actually ended up beating me. Daryl crushed us, but Michelle got second place. I got third place, unfortunately. But we had a great time with it, and it's something that I think you should look into for your new gaming friends. If you haven't played it, the game's been around like 15 years, the original one, but the new one just came out. So be sure to check this out. And that is number 6, Pathfinder Revolution. All right, let's move to number 5. This is another sponsored playthrough. So Pathfinder was sponsored on my channel, and the number 5 game was sponsored on Rahdo's channel. This is Merchants of Magick: Dangerous Business. This is a roll and write, and I enjoyed this immensely. You are crafting different items. It reminded me of the theme of Bargain Quest, where you're outfitting adventurers who are going out adventuring. And like that game, the theme is similar, but the gameplay is totally different. This is a roll and write and flip and fill, if you will. And you're trying to craft all these items and gain the most victory points by collecting different sets, and you have different victory conditions. I played this with the Dangerous Business expansion, which really ups the level of complexity. It's not super deep, but it's deeper than the original one. And what I love is you have way more things that you can do, as you see there on the left side of the track, as far as like, your secret mission or your faction mission. And it's so much fun. Check out my run through. I did a solo version of the game on Rahdo's channel, and you'll see what I mean. It's really clever the way, hey, there's this revolving market basically of things that you can craft, and you have to craft them a certain amount of time before they leave, right? I guess these represent your customers. So the customer might be waiting for a certain shield. Like, you got to get that thing produced before they get out of there. But oh my gosh, so good. And that is my number 5, Merchants of Magick's Dangerous Business, and that is on Rahdo's channel. So please check that out. All right, moving line along. Number 4, I don't have the video that I wanted to share because it's not been put up yet on the Good Time Society. I had to play this with Jake and Becca. We had the best time. This is one of my favorite games. This is one of Jake's favorite games, and if not his favorite game. And Becca played for the first time. She loved it as well. This is The Castles of Burgundy, and we played the special edition. This is AB and Maggie from Thinker Themer. This is their video. I want to shout them out. I played this game so many times. It's a dice rolling, tile laying game. You got a lot of ways to mitigate those dice. It is so good. Almost like a perfect Euro for me. It's a Stefan Feld game, and this special edition just it's absolutely gorgeous on table. We got the tiles, special tiles. Look at those. You even have the little 3D tiles. So gorgeous. And the game holds up. There's a reason why it's been around for 20, has it been 20, almost 20 years? If not, well, probably, I think 20 years. Well, I'll have to look that up. But boy, oh boy, it is so good. I play this a lot on BGA these days, but being able to play the special edition was really a great experience with Jake and Becca, and I would highly recommend. If there's that, man, I want to say if there's one game you can play on this list that if you haven't played before, it's got to be Castle Burgundy. But again, there's so many terrific games. But oh my God, I love Castle Burgundy. Let me show some of these tiles. Yeah, you have the knowledge tiles, which are cool. They actually have them printed on the back of them now, the text. And then you have the upgraded tiles as well. So much good stuff. The playmat, everything about the special edition. There's a couple of nitpicks I have with it. It's not totally colorblind friendly, and there's certain other things, but for the most part, I'd say about 90% of it is perfect. I mean, I'm not getting rid of mine. I have mine. I love it. I'm actually looking to move my old versions of Castle Burgundy. But oh, folks, give it a shot if you haven't already. One of the greatest Euros of all time. That is the number 4 game, Castle Burgundy, and hopefully we're gonna get that video of Good Time Society, because I had such a good time. I get it. I had such a great time with Becca and I. Becca and I we had a lot of fun at Jake's expense. And if you don't know, Jake is awesome at board games. He wins so many times whenever we play stuff. So this time, because Becca and I were in the lead, we're sort of needling Jake, and it was a lot of in good spirits, of course. So be sure to check that out. Okay, number 3. This was my surprise of the month, or over the last 2 months. I had heard good things about this game, but I didn't expect it to be this great. And it is The Field of the Cloth of Gold. Oh my goodness. This is our friend John Gets Games. I don't think I've ever given John Gets Games a shout out on the channel, but John has been doing these videos for a long time. Shout out to you, John. And this game from Hollandspiel is brilliant. It is a set collection game at its heart, but it is so different than any other set collection game I've played. So it's based on event that happened in the Middle Ages, where the kings of France and England threw a big party, and they were basically strutting their stuff like a peacock, saying, "Oh, we're such a great country. Come, we're going to give away all these gifts because we can afford to." So it's a game of gifting things, but you're trying to collect this gifts as well to score them. So anytime you take an action, you can see the red and blue pieces there, you're going to collect a tile that's underneath there. But at the same time, right above that, it's going, excuse me, sorry. The action you're going to take is written above. And then the tile that's below, you're giving that to your opponent. So every time you're scoring something, you're also giving something away to your opponent. So it's got this really awesome built-in tension where it's like, I really want to score my white pieces or blue pieces or whatever, but I'm giving up a gold or a red or whatever to my opponent. I don't want to do that. And each one scores differently. Like the gold, you're going to score that during the game. But at the end of the game, however far you're up on the track is going to give you additional points. But here's the really cool twist. If you're super far up on the track on the yellow, yes, you have the most points that get at that point. However, your opponent has this really nice way of catching up, because if they're in the row above you or even the row above that, they're going to get more points per every yellow that they have in their hand. Ah, so good. There's red, there's white, military, blue, I forget it. It's another type of set collection. Again, all this different set collection, it's done in a way so brilliantly where you have to give up something every turn. Very cool game. Cannot recommend it highly enough. That is The Field of the Cloth of Gold from Hollandspiel. Secret, folks, I'm going to be doing a playthrough of this, I believe, on Rahdo's channel. So keep an eye out for that. All right, we've got 2 more games. I've got to hydrate a little more because I'm thirsty, folks. 2 more. And my second one, I've gone back and forth on this one. When I first played it, I liked it, didn't love it. But, no, I shouldn't say that. I loved it, but not as much as I thought I would. Because it's an expansion for one of my favorite games of all time. Actually, recent times, but now of all time. This is Cascadia Landmarks. I really enjoyed this, but but I wasn't sure if it was a necessary expansion. It doesn't change up gameplay that much, which is great. Okay. However, what it does is, you know how you have the different animals that you're scoring? You're now, it's got the landmarks give you bonuses for different terrain and the way terrain is used and what you do. You're going to have different ways to score. I'm coming around on this. I really, and that's why, like, I started this probably about number 5 on my list before I started putting it together. And I started thinking more and more about it. And the plays I've had, so we did a sponsored live stream for AEG, for Tabletop Live Network. I played a couple times offline with Daryl, with Michelle. I haven't played with my buddy Oscar, but the more I play it, the more like, oh man, this is really good. Now, do I feel it's a necessary expansion? If you are into heavier games, yes. I think this really, it makes it way more chunky. But I think the game is so brilliant, the base game, especially for new players. It's one of those perfect games where it's got enough for heavier gamers while still being accessible for new gamers and casual gamers. But the expansion does ratchet up a few notches, and I think it's brilliant. So it's gaining in my estimation, folks. I really, really love this one, and it doesn't change up gameplay that much. You're still doing the same thing, grabbing tiles, grabbing animal tiles, or discs or tokens, and you're still placing them the way you normally place them, but now it just adds that extra scoring. So you have a little more things to think about. I think it can still be family friendly, but just because of the way the mechanisms work, but the scoring is definitely heavier and more complex than the original game. So just something to think about. But I love Cascadia, and I love Cascadia Landmarks. All right, that leads us up to our number 1 game. And this one is actually, well, I want to say on the lighter side. It depends how you define lighter, but, the theme is the one, I'll be straight up honest, the theme is the one that got me. I could not resist the lure of cute dragons, and that's why it's my number game for the month, Flamecraft. As you can see here, my solo run-through that's now on my YouTube channel. Is this the cutest worker placement game ever? Spoiler alert, yes, it is. It is super cute. It's got dragons. The dragon meeples are adorable. And it's a worker placement or action selection game mixed in with some set collection. And you are sending dragons out in this cute little village to the different shops to do different things. And you have artisan dragons. You have which score you end game scoring points to give you ongoing abilities. I absolutely adore this game. It has a solo version that's really easy to manage. It's been so much fun playing this, and this was a sponsored run through from Lucky Duck as well. Just want to let y'all know that. But oh gosh, I just adore this game. I had heard that it wasn't as heavy or complex as people had hoped it would be. I played it. Yes, it is on the lighter side for a worker placement game, but I think it's fantastic. And there's a reason why so many people love this game. Not only the production value, there's been a lot of care taken as far as the production, of course, but the artwork is just gorgeous, and the gameplay is silky smooth. I mean, you're placing workers where you place them. There's no blocking. You can go anywhere you want, but if there's a worker there, you just have to pay a coin. So yeah, maybe if you don't collect coins, but it's pretty easy to. It's just such a wonderful family-friendly experience, and I had a great time with it, and I think you would too. That's why it's my number 1 game for the month, Flamecraft. And I'm looking at it, I'm just watching my gameplay. I love this one so much. I hope that y'all get a chance to play it as well. All right, so that's gonna do it, folks. Thank you so much for joining me today for Ruel's wrap up. I do this usually once a month. But again, because things happen, I had to combine the last 2 months. But I want to hear what you're playing. Let me know in the comments below, or click on the link below to go to what you played. This is the show that I do in conjunction with this, where I talk about the games that you played over the last couple of months. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.